on Insta as well. We are live.
I think
here,
we are
think.
probably live.
Yes. Good morning. Good morning. I'm going to wait until I'm actually
Good morning.
live on my Facebook so that if we
And
get
then
any questions.
If anyone sees anything on the Facebook that we're not heard well, let us know.
Right. Yeah, I definitely.
Using
that's why-
some new mics today, so bear with us. We
Well, we
are
did it
going to work
yesterday
on
too.
that.
Or yesterday.
It felt like
Last week.
yesterday.
It did. Here we are.
All right.
All right. And make sure that I turn it down so it's not both of us talking again. All right, there we go.
Awesome. Yay!
Oh, wonderful.
Back on the sofa.
Back on the sofa. Always trying new things.
Yes,
so now we got our
we're
cordless
innovative.
mics.
We're traditional. We do some of the same things, but we're innovative and we're always making it better.
There is nothing traditional about me.
About us, what we
I
do.
just-
We always sit on a red sofa.
Okay.
We have
So
some
we do have
traditional
some
things.
traditions.
Yes.
Gotcha.
But we're innovative.
Right. One of my traditions is I don't wear shoes
I have
here,
my shoes on 'cause
and
my
she
feet
has
are
her
cold.
shoes on.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't either, but it's cold.
It's cold today. I did turn the heat up, but I am wearing a jacket. Yeah,
I know. I said
there's
let's
that.
wear long sleeves.
For sure. What are some other traditions we do? Well, we always read from New Thoughts for
I
today,
know. Yes.
And our intention
Yeah.
rocks.
and we do our
Intention
intention
rocks,
rocks.
and
Some of us
we-
have lines like a sieve.
Right.
We always have an affirmation card.
Right.
The theme for the day.
And my favorite thing when I get here is I bring in the flowers and then
She's
I
our
arrange
flower
them.
lady.
And that's very
She's our flower girl.
meditative for me.
They are beautiful today too. My
Thank
goodness.
you. We had
Love
some-
it.
We had some love leftover flowers at the grocery store today, so I was like,
Yes,
these are
please.
beautiful. Thank you.
And of course, we have the sound tech stage hand extraordinaire, Lyric Davis, on the
Yes.
backstage with us today.
We are woman power,
All women today. We,
right?
Yep.
I mean,
We left the
so
boys at home.
right. So
Or
next,
We'll make you official.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, we're talking
No, the
about our
stage
tech
crew,
team.
Our tech team, yeah.
Talking about the tech team. Yeah. We do acknowledge the testosterone in the room, Brian.
And we
No worries.
appreciate that.
Always.
We
Excellent.
appreciate that, yes.
So we're here at Unleash Your Life Studios, and that is located on North 16th Street, 7220 North 16th Street, Phoenix, Arizona, 85020. We are building A, but you don't even need that information. You drive in, you see the gals, you know where to go. So that's how you find
That's
us.
right. This is the home of Reverend Dr. Michelle Whittington and her practice where she hosts her classes and her workshops. And she's amazing. She's both of our mentors for years.
Yes.
So we can highly recommend checking out anything she's got going on. And you can do that at unleashyourlife.us. So unleashyourlife.us. She'll have all her information on there. And I can't recommend it enough.
And that's the other thing. If you are somebody in the Phoenix area that needs to rent a room, she has 2 different rooms for rent here. She donates this room to us on Sundays, so you can't have it on Sundays.
Office space.
But she does
Not
have,
roommates.
office space, not roommates, right?
Right.
But she does have one that holds 25 people and the other one probably about 15. So if that's something, go online at unleashyourlife.us and look for room rentals.
Yeah. And just so you know, she doesn't ask us to do this. We just do it because
Right.
we're so grateful that she lets us use this space for our ministry. That she
Exactly.
supports us in that way. And we're
And
so grateful.
I just want to say good morning, Evie. Hi,
Oh, miss you,
Evie.
Evie.
Look, I'm waving to my phone. Hi, Evie. And Reverend Missy's online again.
Girl, we're
Thank you,
reading
Reverend.
from you again today. So
That's why
good-
she's
Good
here.
job being here.
That's right. I texted her. I said,
Oh,
we
you
got you
told her.
again, Reverend Missy.
Ah,
Yes. All right, so let's get started. You want to pray us
Was
in?
there someone else who wasn't going to be able to be here today?
I don't know.
I can't remember now. I thought we had another
I don't know. I
check in about it, but I don't remember. Anyway.
Oh, you know what? Reverend Cindy, she's not feeling well. So yeah, sending love out to Reverend
She's resting
Cindy.
up for now.
She's resting.
All right.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll pray us in. Let's do
All
it.
right.
Let's do it. I always like to start with that breath, pulling us right into this moment, this wonderful moment together. Recognizing there is only one power, one presence. There's only one thing going on, and that is God. That is divine energy, first cause, that's source. And God is love. God is joy. God is laughter, peace. And each one of us are made of that, like Jeannie says, sparkly God stuff. We are each God stuff in our own unique expression. We are the stars in this human experience. So we are that love. We are that joy, that laughter, that peace of God. And so as I know this truth, I stick my word into the law, knowing that as I do, I set the law of God in motion for the highest and best of each one of us, of everyone hearing my voice right now or later on or through the recording. And I know that as we come together this morning, as we release anything coming after this moment, we let go of whatever has come before, and we come into this present moment together. I know that each one of us hears what is ours to hear. We take what is ours to take. We receive what is ours to receive, just as we give into this moment as well. We share our love. We share our laughter. We share our ideas and our thoughts. And I'm so grateful for this. I'm so grateful for having this time on the sofa, for having our community here with us present, our community with us live on the feed, and also joining us later. I'm grateful that we are doing this moment together, as we all are that wonderful light. Each of us is that light. And so I let it go, and I know and I trust that this time is already divinely guided and perfectly blessed. And together we say, and so it is.
Oh, okay.
If you missed that, check on last time. She's got a whole new,
I got a whole new thing. Yes.
and I just go, okay. Does this have 3 creamers already?
Well, she's so good.
She takes care of me.
She does. She's a
might.
good tech.
My daughter might love me. Oh, it's because it's her job and she's a tech. Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
She's our tech.
Good job doing your job.
Right. We appreciate it. She's so cute.
She's adorbs.
All right. So today's topic
Dun, dun, dun.
with your cards. Sorry if you're online and you don't have cards, but
You have to come here.
you have to come here to get the cards.
And they're super cool.
That
We got
is
the girls
one-
us on the back.
That is one of the reasons people come,
They want
so
the
that they
cards.
can get the deck of cards.
Deck.
Or you could pre-order your deck. Exactly. I see. Right? Anna's such our marketing person. I love
Good
it.
job, Ann.
Within me is the light of 1,000 stars. And we've started adding numbers to the cards. So this year we won't have to,
And we're in
Yeah.
week 7.
we're at week 7 of the year. We won't have to remake the wheel.
I know,
Sure.
right? Oh my goodness. I hear the door just opened. Who do we have joining us? I'm so excited.
I don't know. Let there be light.
Hang on, let me say
There
something.
we go. Yay! Let there be light. And there was. And here comes Marilyn.
Listen, my friends, we want you to also to know that come when you can get here. Don't feel like, oh, I can't make it at 11:11, so I shouldn't go. No, we understand you're going to other services before us. You may have something come up, but just be here if you can.
And we have people
love
that
it.
come from the West.
Yes,
So
we understand. We're not like,
Yeah.
look what time. No, never going to be like that. Just get over
No.
here. We can get hugs after the service.
Exactly.
Okay, what page are we on?
We are on page 119
Thank
of the
you.
New Thought for Today.
Love it.
Oh
Okay.
my God, I
All
opened
right.
up to 117.
that was last week's, I think, 117, wasn't it? Yes. Okay. 119. Let there be light. Within you is the light of 1,000 suns. Robert Adams. During autumn, I turn on the lights in the house earlier. The soup pot comes out, comforters and socks get top billing. And my husband starts binge watching Harry Potter.
I love it.
In part 3 of this series, Dumbledore says, happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if only one remembers to turn on the light. Light. It illuminates our path, piercing illusion and darkness to allow more clarity. The Bible states, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. And God said, let there be light, and creation followed. In the state of recognition, we understand that the God source was all there ever was. And therefore, source made us out of itself.
Amen.
Because there's sparkly God stuff.
That's right. We start going.
We unify and align with that thought and step into realization or knowing. We then declare, let there be light. Tonight I looked up at the stars, lights chasing away the darkness outside. Going inside, I switched on the light to illuminate the darkness inside. Just as we turn on the switch inside, there's no need to chase the light. Just go within and allow the inner God spark to light the way. That's where God is. There's one core principle. God is. All else derives from that. When we align with principle, everything falls into place. I merge with my inner light. I am love radiating through every cell of my body and consciousness. I become a gift of presence. Consciousness becomes my sole authority, and love points the way. Reverend Dr. Melissa Higginbottom, Interfaith and Religious Science Minister, Mooresville, North Carolina. Thank you, Dr. Missy.
Dr. Missy is so good.
Oh, Barb Johnson joined us too
Hi,
from
Barb.
Atlanta.
Hi.
Hi, Barbie. We miss you.
Miss you.
Yes.
Yeah, she had to move.
I don't know if she had to. She
Well,
chose
She
to,
chose to. Apparently.
even though we tried to stop her.
Our lives are empty.
We are empty without our Barb.
Exactly.
Light.
I know. So
This has been such a great month so far with the illumination of light. You know, I'm in a couple of different classes right now that are talking about a word, right? To bring yourself a word for the year, right? The beginning of the year is always about how are we going to manifest this year, as if some magic timeline happens on December 31st and the world stops and then begins again. It does feel that way sometimes,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
For me, like I get all jazzed. So there's the word thing happening right now in my life. And the word I have right now, which is also part of my mantra of this year, the word I have is speak, right? Speak up. So my mantra this year is speak up, stand out, shine on. Right? Isn't that nice? I liked it too. I was like, yeah. So speaking up with clarity, speak up with love, speak up with decisiveness when I go into situations. And speaking also has the counterpart of listening. So that is one of the other things that has come into my realm with this word of speak is listening, and not just listening to the other person in conversation, but listening to how the world speaks, how nature speaks to me, how my cats speak to me, how the sun speaks in the day, how music speaks, whatever it is. So I am learning a lot about what lights me up inside. And not that I was ever like lost to that concept, but this week I had an opportunity to do a training at work for customer service, and our core values are enthusiasm, empathy, communication, and ownership. Well, couldn't we say that too? Right?
Mhm.
So I was able to take things like positive intelligence, mental fitness, new thought, metaphysical interpretations, of things into that as well. So there was like this opportunity to speak, and I realized how energized I get sharing that,
Mhm.
bringing that to others. And it's great when I'm with people who want to hear it, right? But when it's somebody who's like just there because they're made to be there and
Oh,
I can
yeah.
get them to engage, man, is that good. That's the bomb. I love that part. So there's my little, I don't know, tirade.
That's your share.
There's my little share of what what's coming up for me with lighting up, within me, the light of 1,000 suns, 1,000 stars, that what lights me up.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Yeah. It's cool because I wasn't looking at it that way until you said it like that. That what lights you up. So if you're needing to light yourself up, let there be light. What does that for you? And I can see that in you. I totally get that. You're a great speaker and you're really great at sharing from within, right? And that's why people connect with you so easily, because you're authentic and it's coming from source, right? So, but when you said listening for things, it makes me think of our new puppy, Ozzy. And I had this little video and I can post it later, but so in the morning, in the light of the morning, I sit out with my coffee and he plays tug of war with me with this. I let him, I'm trying to get the puppy energy out first thing in the morning because he's, eating everything, and that's in me sometimes. So we're tug of war, and all of a sudden he flips around, and he's standing there because all these birds, I know some of you've been to my house and there's tons of birds. There's like so much, the trees have been there a long time. So there's lots and lots of birds. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, he's just like this.
Where is this guy?
There's one over there, and there's and then so I started to record him because I was from the back, and I could see his little toy, like all of a sudden the toy was not, he was like, and there was a sound here, and then a completely different one over here, and then there was one back here, and then I'm like, I'm even starting to think, how many kinds of birds are in? I never have really sat and paid attention to that. I hear them, it's pretty, but he's like, this is a brand new little creature, 2 months old, like, what's going on in my world right now,
Right.
and really listening and being all excited about it. And it was just kind of a fun moment to watch him. And then I recognized I was like I was having a moment too, enjoying that, enjoying that coming out of him and him enjoying the birds, enjoying themselves. Like everything, like it's like every part was adding to something else, the birds are in the trees. I don't know, maybe the trees are enjoying themselves and being trees, and then the birds are having a good time, and then the puppy stops and enjoys that, and then I'm enjoying the puppy, and then I'll share it with others and they'll enjoy that. It's amazing when you let that light of yourself out, when that comes out, what the ripple effect could be. So
Right.
when you are speaking and you're sharing that, what that effect could be for others, you could light someone else up to do so many different things. It's really awesome, the effects of that, of just doing something that lights you up.
Right.
I love that.
To be able to share that light,
Mhm.
and anybody that's been to a candlelight service, well, at least a candlelight service here, that is something that we do. We start with one light and we light each other's candle.
Yes.
But don't tip the burning light. We've all learned
Yeah,
that
there's
one.
special rules.
Yeah, there's special rules to how to light someone else's candle.
Yeah, there's little rules, but anyway,
Yeah.
we're not.
Well, there is in life also.
Right. There
Rules
are
are
rules
lighting.
in life too.
Yeah.
You don't just walk up and start. Yeah.
Yeah, that does
Right.
not light people
Yeah,
up.
we're
If
not
you
trying
walk
to
up and
force, yeah. So like my puppet being excited about what was going on, not that it came at him to make him do that. They were just doing their thing and enjoying themselves and having, their song, putting their song out to the world or to each other. I don't even know what they were doing. It was so interesting. Once I sat, really like,
and
wow,
started to listen to
there's a lot going on out here,
started
It's
to
like a
listen to
symphony
him
out here.
listening.
Yeah.
It's
So it was really cool that nothing was forced. It was just this moment of just sharing between beings, and it was really cool.
it's
It was
always
really beautiful.
it's always interesting to watch life from a new life form's perspective.
Oh my goodness.
Puppies, kittens, babies,
watching
right?
a baby like
just watching them explore life, because I think there's so much that we take for granted. Like I do take the bird thing for granted, until I stop. And at one of my offices, we have a fireplace, and there are some birds who have decided to nest in the fire. It's not a working fireplace, so it's cool. So there are sometimes I'm just sitting in the office and I hear them,
no.
and it's very and so it echoes because it's in the fireplace, and then it's a big room, and it just and it almost sounds fake. you know, as if
Oh,
it's
yeah.
on a, good morning, as if it's on a like sound.
Like a TV or
Yeah, and
something.
you just like stop and you're like, oh, okay, there's life here, you know.
It's really cool. Yeah, and like even how she says, Reverend Dr. Missy says in this that God said, "Let there be light," and creation followed. You know, in this context, it's put out your light and let whatever comes follow. You
Mhm.
know, like just all you have to do is let there be light, let your light shine, and then the creation follows with, you know, however other people pick it up and run with it. And it's kind of a really interesting thing to think like that instead of, I mean, how often do we hold our light in because we're afraid of what could happen? Instead,
Mhm.
recognizing that creation will follow that, you know, the amazing things that could come when you let your light out. You know, that's the difference of how we think about it, I think. How
Right.
we feel about that light within us that is all that we are. I mean, that's all that we are. We're supposed to shine it. We're supposed to
And
let it
yet,
out, right?
so many people, I mean, hide that light because, you know, I know that I have had time periods where I have felt too much. I was too tall, too fat, too loud, too whatever, right? You know, I have felt too much for others. So I would close up and I wouldn't speak up and I wouldn't say things or participate or be part of, you know, and I'd hold that light back because I thought that others wouldn't want it, you know.
Mhm.
That's one of the reasons that the speak is my word. I know this is probably hard for you guys to believe since you sit here every Sunday and listen to me ramble at the mouth. However, one of the biggest things that I have is this this part of me that says what I have to say isn't important. So there is something that I work on in speaking up. There's this almost, I won't say a fear, but there is a little thing. I don't know, like I almost want to say like a hook, like that goes, oh, who cares what you have to say? You know, like this little hook inside my head that
Mhm.
says that. That is one of the reasons that I'm so grateful for how we do Sofa Sundays.
Right.
Because the stand-up homilies situation with the 3-point lesson of what you're to know is not me. I'm just saying, you know, I can do it, but it's not my authentic self. And I would really have that hook then.
Right.
Here, it's just like I'm hanging out with my friends, talking. I don't know what it's going to be like when we're 200, 400 people, right? Like, I don't know, right? But right now, this community, and I got like goosebumps.
Yeah.
This
I like how she
community,
said that, 200 people. Like,
right?
"Ooh,
Yeah,
I
woo!
can see it.
I can see it. But this community, how it is, this intimacy allows the authenticity, not just on the sofa, but with you all as well. So, and with you all as well. Oh, what are they saying now? I gotta catch
Reverend
up.
Dr. Missy's got
I
words.
know.
She's got
I
words.
can't wait till she comes out to Arizona. When you
When she
coming
is
out,
coming out
Missy?
here.
You gotta come out.
You know, and that's really true. We do it our way, which was a big thing for both of us because we've seen it other ways, and I've tried it other ways, and it just didn't work for me either. It was stressful. I didn't want this to be stressful. I had enough pressure or stress of other things going on in life, and I wanted this to be enjoyable. If I'm going to create something, I want to enjoy it. I don't want to be add another something else that
Right.
stresses me
I
out.
think
Like,
the
why would you
most-
do that?
The highest stress we have is what colors are we gonna wear?
Yes. She has no stress in that.
No,
I have the stress
She
in
has
that
the stress.
because she's,
I pick out the night before. Yeah.
and I don't do that. I'm gonna start getting her eventually. At some point I'll get ahead of her. I'll be like, oh, guess what I'm wearing today?
Yeah.
you figure it out.
You can't pick a color
You
that
figure it
I won't match.
She'll always be fine.
I'll have something to
I'm a
match
little,
it.
I have stuff going on today, but I'm usually plainer. I'm usually
Yeah.
more solid color, so I'm easy. I let her have it because it's easier. But it is. I think that's the big thing is you gotta really know who you are.
Mhm.
What is your light? What truly lights you up, and what is your light, so that you can put it out there authentically and not hold it in, not alter it for others to
Right.
appreciate or not appreciate. It's not my job what they do, what they create with it, or how they
Mhm.
feel with it, or what they do with it. God didn't say, what was the quote in here again? Let's see. She says, let there be light and creation followed. Like, not like let there be light and God made all this other stuff. Like, no.
And all the other hoops you have to jump through.
And creation followed. So I let there
Exactly.
be light. Let us
Oh, I
put
love
out
that.
what's us. What is ours to put out, and then everyone else. Like that's why I say that in the prayer. You take what is yours to take. I tell people who are like, well, what kind of church is it? I'm like, well, we are religious scientists, but I'm not saying this is a religious science church per se. You may say that. I don't necessarily say that. I just say it's a spiritual church club, and I want anybody to be able to show up here.
Right.
I want you to be, if I'm saying a spiritual mind treatment affirmative prayer and you're like, I don't know what that is. That's not how I pray. Well, pray for yourself right then. Like,
Right.
I don't need anybody to believe how I believe for them to benefit from what we share. I don't think.
Right.
And I just personally don't need you to believe what I believe. That's on
Right.
you. So whatever we put out there, I want it to be in a way that take what's yours to take and create the life you love, however that looks
And
for you.
that
I
is
don't-
the
not
goal.
worried about it.
That is the
100%.
goal. Whether you have a spiritual belief system or not,
Yeah.
you could have none.
Yeah.
You know, the plan, the goal, the hope, the dream is that we give you life benefiting substance from the sofa that says, hey, I can take this and live a life I love to live based on these philosophies, through Ernest Holmes, through Emerson, through New Thought leaders of today,
Right,
through
our own
us,
experience, whatever's
through
coming
the
through us.
congregation.
Yeah, through the consciousness.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's the whole purpose. And now we're working on creating a franchise opportunity for other ministers who want to have their own ministry and don't know how to do it or don't know how to get started. They can just create another sofa somewhere else in the world and then have our topic, but speak to it from themselves. So and then they get to be the light from
Yes.
themselves and how they want to share it. So we just want everybody to create whatever they would love.
right. And that has actually become, I think Reverend Missy shared this too, the nuns, the NONES, nuns. These are people that have no church affiliation. These are ministers and pastors who have decided to give up the dogma and open up in this. So this is what people are doing now, right? They're sharing from the heart. They're giving up those things that kind of made church an all-day event, right? They're giving up the things that have maybe isolated people from participating, and now opening it up to be, hey, heart to heart, because people want community, people want to be understood, they want to be heard, and they want to fit in to a situation that feels good to them. Nobody wants to, at least speak for me, I don't want to fit in someplace where you're making me change who I am. I want to fit in as the unique piece of the puzzle that I already am.
Exactly.
And that's what I want to have available here.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, exactly it. We want everybody to be authentic. You know what we want? We wanted that on the sofa to be the light that we are authentically. And we made that promise to each other and to everybody else that we would show up that way, even if it was scary, if it was hard, even if I felt like I was going to say something that nobody in this room would agree with, which can happen. That has been if I have a fear, that's one of the little fears for me, but I trust that I'm supposed to share those things that's part of the whole deal,
Right.
you know.
Whether people agree or not.
Yeah, and maybe someone else will learn something from that, or maybe I would, you know.
Right.
But that's just, yeah. So it's such a freeing feeling to feel like you can show up and just be exactly who you are and not try to alter any of it, so that
Exactly.
you're accepted.
Reverend
And that's
Missy
what we
says,
want.
taking off the labels.
That's right, girlfriend.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, just be us. That's what we do on the sofa. That's what I think everybody in here feels like they can do when they're with us.
I hope so.
Yeah, that's.
Do you guys feel that way? Do
Absolutely.
you feel free of the labels? Right. That you can be yourself. Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we're trying. That's the community here.
Yeah.
And that's why we say it's for anybody. Like, you don't have to be a specific religion to be in
Right.
here. I mean, you could be anything. Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
Lyric. Hey.
One thing I have encountered in different New Thought communities, which I'm thankful I'm not encountering here yet. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna say that. Is the implication that spirituality has to look a certain way.
Right.
In other words, there's the implication that if you're on the yoga mat doing your thing, that's what spirituality looks like. That's what meditation looks like. And there's an implication, I don't know how long it will take for that to subside, but there's still an implication that, oh, you can't like that kind of music. That's not spiritual.
Yes,
Or,
right.
oh, you can't watch those kind of movies. That's not spiritual. I've encountered that countless times where people who have been well-meaning lecture me about how I show up, and I've been in a position where I had to essentially give up the music that brought me joy, the arts that brought me joy, because someone in a position of authority was dictating to me what spirituality was supposed to look like for me.
Mhm.
So I think that's an important factor that often is overlooked, is the notion that spirituality does not come in one size fits all for everyone.
Exactly.
And I
Yeah.
really love that because, you know, I lost my train of thought, but I 100% agree with you, because I do think that everybody has their own, as long as you're not hurting anybody else, whatever. Like, I'm sure if you guys, some people saw me on a Friday night out with my fiance, you might be like, "Wait, Michelle, isn't that Michelle over there? Is she
that
doing,
spiritual?
is she being spiritual right now?" I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything crazy, but I'm out. Yes,
Yeah.
and I'm out, and I'm probably having a drink, and I might be playing darts with him somewhere, and I might be, you know, like, but that's the truth of who I am, and that's the truth of what we do. And I'm not hurting anybody doing that. I'm not speaking any less truth when I'm sitting on the sofa after I've been out or done something, you know, whatever. But that is my truth. But I do know, like, my people that I know who are in ministry, they don't say it to me, but they'll say it about themselves, like, "Oh, you know, we're really watching XYZ because, you know, we don't want anybody seeing us." And I'm like, "Why?"
Yeah.
Because nobody in your congregation can go out and have a good time, or what is that? Like, you know, or you say a bad word and you can't, like, that makes you less spiritual or
Yeah,
less of a guide or less of, those
Right.
are just words.
Oh, if that's the case, please stop
Yes.
watching now.
Yes.
This mouth uses all the words.
Not on
all
the
the
sofa usually.
color. Yeah.
But-
I don't do it on
we
YouTube. but-
try to be respectful on this, but
Yeah.
you know, right. And they're just words. I'm the one
Right.
who's deciding if that's a good or a bad word. And yes, I know society. I'm not particularly going to walk into a business meeting and start.
Right.
I'm not,
Right.
stupid about it. But I
Right.
mean, you know, if I'm out and it's just me and I'm just hanging out and my fiance, we're just having, like, I may say a few colored, you know, fun words and
Colorful, but they are.
Yes, I mean,
And for those of you
but
who
that
would
doesn't
like
change
more
who I am. That's
colorful
exactly who I am.
meditations, please check out Yogi Brian, because he's the bomb. Yeah. Yeah, he
But I
has
love
very
that you bring
colorful
up that point,
language.
because this is exactly what this is. If, you know, this is exactly what we created here
Mhm.
for both of us.
Yes.
And then the benefit is that you all had that too.
Yeah.
Like, there's lyric. So we wanted that for ourselves.
Yes, absolutely.
And so that's, yeah.
The word that keeps coming to my mind as you have this conversation is integrity.
Mm,
Yeah.
Um,
I like that.
if you are not in integrity, then that's when you stop your light from shining in certain ways, in certain situations, with certain people,
Mhm.
you know, and I dealt with that concept many years ago and went, if I can't say this thing or do this thing in a church or in front of a minister or, you know, this group of people or whatever, then something's wrong with the picture here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that where this is going because I hadn't even really thought about that all the way through. I mean, I've thought about that on my own in different situations or when I've had those minister friends say certain things, I've been like, why? I don't agree with that. And I'm not going to change how I am just because you feel like that. Like,
Right.
this is how I am and I like me. So, you know,
Exactly.
and I want to be that. And I think it allows other people to be who they are too.
Right. When you can be authentic, then it gives other people permission to
If
be
you notice,
authentic
people
as
who are
well.
around me usually are very comfortable being exactly who they are, and that's because that's how I am too. I'm not trying to be something I'm not, right?
You actually just articulated a good part of my point. For me, one of the things that is so valuable here, aside from the fact of my very strong relationships with each of you, is that I think we feel part of it.
Mhm.
You know, it's not just your ministry, it's ours as well. We impact
Absolutely.
one another. We bring messages to you know, to each other. And it's an organic thing.
Right.
And I mean, I'm so grateful because it is about authenticity. And I've worked hard to get to that point in my life. That, one of the hardest languages to learn, right, is
Right.
authenticity. But I love that I very much feel part of whatever we're doing.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
I love that you're here.
Yes.
Love that you are a part of it.
I love that language of authenticity,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because when I was facilitating on Thursday, one of the things that came up for me and that I spoke about was the fact that how we learn is how we communicate too, like sharing with each other. We're in the middle of a book study right now. And so sharing life experiences about things, because you know what? We're all colored, right? Like we're all colored based on our experiences, our life issues. There's a thing in the 12-step rooms that, move over 6 inches, your perspective will change, right? So we all have our own color of what something's happening. Yeah, exactly. That how we see things, and then somebody else says, "Oh, I see it like this," and you go, "Wow, yes, and I see it like this," and so like you get this delicious, yummy experience of life because you've had different ingredients placed in, versus, I always have to eat oatmeal. I always have to have it this way. This is how it goes, right? Now I get to have it with different things, and then I see that, and then other people are like, "Oh, have you ever tried grits?" Like you get a different feeling and you get a different outlook when you're able to share with others.
Exactly. I love it. I love all about that. Yeah, I had no idea this is where we were going today. We were talking about within me is the light of 1,000 stars I put on there.
Right. She put stars. It was suns. Yeah, but hey, I think we think the stars is a quote too, and so
the sun is a star.
There's the thing.
She was like, but the sun is a star. Like
we
I
had
love
that
true.
discussion.
We're not
Yes.
limited to this one star.
That's right. Stars, suns, it's all light.
It's all light.
That's right.
It's all
Be the
light.
light.
Did you guys see that? When we did
Right.
that?
When we were
Oh,
the
the
backup
lights.
singers to Jennifer Ann Sheets in the beginning of the month. Yes.
Yes,
So
yeah. You guys should go get that because we were really good.
we were good.
Yeah.
We were good there. Yeah.
No, that's how. Yeah, I totally.
Evie says we are all one.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we
Sorry,
are.
Right, and I I mean, there are times where we're reading the Real Love book right now.
Mm.
And there are times where I've been really paying attention to myself through this process of reading that book and then recognizing, especially in the romantic relationship I'm in, the times where I want him to do certain things because I'm worried about something else over here, right? Like I want him to, I'm trying to think of an example, like us to not maybe go out to the next bar because I want us to go home and go to sleep because we had a plan to go to the gym in the morning or something like that, right? But he wants to go to one more place. Let's go one more place. And then I'm like, are you sure? So I'm kind of naggy. I'm doing this whole thing and using my, what would that be? My protecting behaviors because I want us to keep the commitments we have to our goals. But I'm recognizing that if he wants to go to the next bar, he can go. Like I kind of have released it. And that's been, I know what the example was, getting up in the morning. There's one morning where we got up and we will watch TV and have coffee and we'll cut in the bedroom and just kind of hang out for a minute. And he had to go to work and I didn't yet. So he got up, started doing a couple of things and I'm looking at the clock and I'm like, cool. Cause I don't just want him to not be late. He's never late, but and the next, he gets back in and kind of cuddles up to me. Now I go, I said, what are you doing? Because my mind thought, oh, maybe he doesn't realize what time he's supposed to go to work. That maybe he doesn't have the time right because it changes every day. Like it's not like every day it's at 9. Like today's at 11, tomorrow's at 9. So I was all of a sudden like, I said, what are you doing? And he goes, what do you mean? What am I doing? Why would you say that? And I said, he said, I know what I'm doing. So we got into, we had this little bit of it triggered him. And then it triggered me. It was like this little odd little moment there. But I recognized like, what if he's let him do what he's doing? He's right. Sometimes I just want to rest for a minute and then I'll go get ready. Like, I know what I'm doing. I'm not going to be late. And he said that my tone said to him something else. And then I didn't recognize that. I was like, no, I felt like I was being caring. And he says, yeah, but your tone, I said, I didn't say it like that. So it's so interesting. But then to also just to like release that, why do I need to say anything at all? Let him just be. Let him just do what he's doing.
But if
he didn't ask
it's
me.
okay.
Right.
Because you can talk about it.
Right. We do talk about that. When we get triggered, we are really good about talking about it. But at the same time, it's like he didn't ask me to monitor his timing.
Right. Oh, yeah. And
he
I
didn't ask
think
me to do that.
I
Make
think
sure I'm
that's-
not late.
right. I think that's a big part of real love. Like remembering that this is another grown human being that managed to stay alive prior to meeting you. They got to work, they fed themselves, they showered, they cleaned or didn't. I mean, they did all these things before meeting you. Guess what? They can do them with you. And that is, and my real love people know this, right? That's a big, but you're not doing it my way. We need to make sure that we do it this way. And I'm with you.
Right.
The release of that. So I got to really show and be present, learning that, because in real love, the whole concept of the Real Love book, for those who aren't reading it at this point, is the happiness of the other person without it being codependency. I always have to throw that in.
Without you
Without
manipulating them to
manipulation,
do
right.
X, Y, Z.
It's about their ultimate happiness and making decisions from this level of real love, unconditional love. And unconditional love allows a grown human to be a grown human and make all those decisions on their own.
Right.
And that's both in romantic relationships, work relationships, friendships,
Right.
And one of the things that I've learned over the course of a few years here is not offering my advice unless asked. If somebody says, what would you do? Or what do you think I should do? Then absolutely. I'll say, well, if I was in this situation, blah, blah, blah. I don't offer that without that question. Because most of the time people just want to be heard.
Same thing as prayer. We don't pray
Right.
for somebody unless we know what you want us to pray for. I'm not just going to pray for you to get that job or be successful without you asking me to do that, because I don't know that that's what you want. I'm not trying to pray something over you that you haven't asked me to pray over you for. So that's, I think, really important to understand that even in regular life, but that's, people have to be able to shine their light. Well, in order for them to be able to shine their light, we have to release that. We have to stop controlling how they're showing up or how they're shining their light, you know? And that's been a big thing through the Real Love, is to recognize that we are separate human beings and he has every right to do things how he's doing them. And so do I. And if he winds up being late for work, that's also on him. And I don't need to stress about that. You know, if he were to say to me, could you make sure I'm up in 10 minutes and whatever, then I'm like, I'm all over it. But other than that, it's like, this is his light to control. This is his light to monitor and make sure he's putting it out there like he should. And then I have mine. So it's really an interesting thinking about that light within and how we bring it out. And then how then we start to worry about everybody else. Like, oh, you know, you should bring out your light. Like, no,
Yeah. Wait a minute. Your light's a little tarnished over there. Let me get that.
Yeah.
Let me get that light for you.
Right. Like,
What's your batteries?
worry about our own light.
Right.
And in shining our own light, others will either say, how are you shining your light like that? Like, can you like help me? Or they'll say, oh, I like how she's shining her light. I might try it like that. Like, you know what I mean? It just allows for
Right.
other people to do
To be
that, to do
authentic.
their own thing and,
Yeah.
and the same thing. And then we don't need to worry about that. We don't
Right.
need to, everybody had their own path to get to where they are. Everybody else deserves to have that.
So I'm going to tell Michelle's story for her,
What
and then I'll let you join in. So speaking, the light shine. I remember Michelle sharing about because Michelle's a singer. For those of you who do not know, and there has been times where she had felt she wasn't at the level she wanted to be, or that others would want her to be, and so her light didn't shine, and she would compare herself. And well, there's already got singers that do this and already got singers that do that, you know. And so then, now I'll let you take over. Then how did you decide that your light was going, you know, that it's Michelle's light? Which, by the way, if you haven't heard her sing, she's amazing.
So I think for me, a lot of it was the realization that there are a lot of different people singing, oftentimes even the same song, but they sing it differently. And so you might like one person's version, you might like someone else's version. I just spilled coffee everywhere. And it's just the same with everything else in life. And I'm learning that more and more, even though I'm 54 years old, I'm still getting this message in different ways. But I got it a while ago in the music, was that my voice sounds like it does, and not everyone's going to like it. And guess what? That's okay. Not everybody's going to like the way I sound, just like probably 80% of the world, if not more, love Adele, but I'm sure there's plenty of people who don't like her or don't like her music or don't like something. And not that I'm comparing myself to Adele, but what I'm saying is, or not that I'm not.
Right. Yeah. Go ahead.
I just use her as a reference because I think she does have such greatness, but she's got haters or people don't like it either. Her voice isn't for everybody. And I
Right.
get this message a lot. So your light isn't for everybody. Your light is for whoever's it's for, whoever's going to see it. And if that's not yours to worry about. Your light is your light, and you have to, you're supposed to share it. That's why you have it. That's why we have it. Stars are out there because they share their light because that's just what they are. So I think that's the biggest thing, is learning that, releasing the pressure of being for everybody, or that
Right, 'cause
everybody
you're not
has to like
tacos.
it.
You're not tacos.
No.
You can't please everyone.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I know. We
So-
love tacos.
Not everybody likes tacos.
What? Now that's sacrilege right
we're
there.
not even going.
I
there.
can't even hear
Don't
stuff like
even-
that.
don't even-
No, I'm kidding.
No, but that's such a good point about
Right.
this inner light thing, about letting your light out. And I feel like we've, you know, even in like when I post things, or even like this ministry, it's just recognizing that I think that's such a release, is when you
Right.
finally go,
You're not for everybody.
wow, I don't have to please
Yeah.
everybody in that.
Yeah.
No. And plus the people that are calling out for you, the reason why you exist at this time and space in the world, the reason why God placed you right here, is because people were asking for you, praying for you. I just need somebody to show me that this or that. And God was like, put it on Michelle's heart, put it on
Right.
Jeannie's heart, put it on Amy's heart, put it on Anne's heart, Marilyn's heart, put it on Brian's heart. Like that's,
Yeah.
so when you feel those
I
tugs
love
and those,
that.
and that pressure, like, oh, I really want to do this, but then the fear you got to release that, because those people have been asking for you and you're robbing them of that answer that they've been asking for, and you're the answer. So you put it out and just trust
I
that
could
those
be-
people are going to get it.
I could have been a multimillionaire. Let me tell you why. Because back in the day when I had no money and I had no coffee pot, I thought, wouldn't it be great if they made coffee bags like they make tea bags? Okay. And this is the like mid 80s. And then what happened? They made them. I guess they didn't go anywhere. But anyway, like I had that idea, I would have used them. So yeah, it just sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
Versus instant. I'm just saying, like, so when there's that on your heart of something that needs to exist. So I'm going to call Brian out real quick. So there's
Brian.
yeah, so Brian brought up to me about the New Thought music industry and how it's not, it's kind of all, let's be honest, it's all kind of pop rock, right? Like there's not different genres in there. There's not like I looked. There are not punk. There is not metal.
Do you want some punk?
They want some punk. We want some punk
Do we want punk music, Brian? Oh,
and some metal music and like
it's like this in the
things-
back. You can turn the camera
There
around.
you
like,
go.
yeah.
So I kind of and I was on.
All right, we're gonna work on that for you, Brian.
Right. I was on. What is that? Not. It was on the TikTok, looking, for different. I found some metal bands covering some non-metal music, and it was amazing. So I was like, we need these people, and that's what we need, right? Is like, I loved how you shared about the music that brings me joy, the art that brings me joy.
Right.
I have naked lady pictures in my house,
I'm
right?
sorry. What's happening?
Right. I'm just telling you, right? Because that art,
That art's beautiful.
that art is beautiful. I think that the female form is beautiful, right? Like I said, my mouth has a tendency to use words some people don't like. I don't use them in public, but I use them with my friends. And I remember one time my mom said, Reverend daughter. That's my name, and
Only on the sofa, Mom. Only
yeah.
on the sofa.
Reverend daughter. And there's this idea about what a minister should be. And the first time that comes out of somebody's mouth towards me, I go, I'm not that kind of minister. What I'd like
You
to
missed the bio.
yeah, you missed the bio. What I minister to is the human heart and the authenticity that is, right? I minister to that within myself and within others because I want us all to live a life we love.
An authentic life.
Yes.
Just that place of being just who you are. There's nothing like that. And when you can be like that with the people around you, there's just nothing like that. Knowing like if I show up like this, or if I show up in my Uggs, I mean, it's like nobody cares if I have lashes on or I don't, or if I have my hair done or it's in a bun.
I know you
It
don't-
doesn't matter. Like I don't have to be
Exactly.
perfect in a certain way to be loved and accepted. There's nothing like that feeling. There's nothing like that. I love that. And that's what we should all be striving for, is just the bravery to be the light that we actually are, the true light that we actually are, and let the others decide if they're hanging out for it or not, if they're a part of it or not. And if they're not,
Right.
they can, there's other
That's
lights.
right. I
There's
wish you
lots of
well.
Lights. Go ahead. I'm good with it.
Yeah. You can
But it
find your
took me
good
a long
somewhere
time
else.
to get there.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to understand that and to get there. And I think it was even when the last big aha before doing this was the podcast. When I created the podcast, I stalled on it for quite a long time. And it was Russell Brunson. Any of you who want to create online things, Russell Brunson has 3 books and they're really amazing. I can't remember them right now, but it's a trilogy of books and they all talks about building that online presence or building stuff. And I was reading one of them and he said, he was the one that actually put it in words about you have to niche down. Like you have to be exactly what you are.
Right.
You're not gonna, if you try to go down the middle and hit everybody, you'll hit nobody.
Mhm.
You'll just,
Yeah.
nobody will pick you up. You'll be so like unseen. But if soon as you decide exactly what it is and you go that route,
Yep.
you're going to have half, so many fall off because they don't match. But the ones that match,
Yeah.
now they can find you. They can find where you're at and they can,
Right.
attach to you. And he said, as soon as you get that, you'll make the difference. You'll, make the change. The change will happen. You'll start to see the growth. And I was like, oh my God, that was like such a huge revelation for me to see it written down like that. And I really needed to work on that. That perfectionism part of me needed to let go and know that I'm just got to be me.
I love it.
Nothing like it, people.
Anybody got anything else they'd like to add to our light globe today?
No, we're good.
So, well, I'm going to put it out there to TV land. We're looking for positive metal and positive punk music on the sofa. And if you are a Phoenician that does it, come on down. We'll have you on the sofa. We'd love to have a part of that as well.
I love it. That's so good. Are you ready to pray this out?
I am.
All right, let's do it.
So in this knowing, in this space, in this light globe that is us, knowing that the divine presence that is all things and always is us here and now, as well as all online and those that will hear us later. And knowing that this one unity, this one presence, this one power, this one heartbeat breath that is source energy that animates each and every one of us. This operates the law of opportunity, the law of reciprocity, the law of attraction, the law of gravity, the law of karma, the law of delight, that each thing that says what goes out comes back. And this energy that is us, I speak my word into it now, grateful for this time together, this blessing of these individuation beings of source energy that are here now, that this collective soul, this brightness that is our light, that is Sofa Sundays. I bless leaders and teachers of all faiths and religions and cities and states and countries everywhere, that they experience the light within them, that this light energy that is source energy for the highest and best good of each and every person on this planet, each and every creature, for animate and inanimate objects everywhere, knowing that the trees that blow, the winds that feel the trees, the ground beneath us, that each seed that is planted grows and blossoms to be the best that it can be. And that these light sources here now receive and bless all those they come in contact with. For this, I am grateful. I say thank you, God. Thank you, Source. Thank you, Universe. Thank you, Life, for the blessing that is us. I let it go. I call it good. And together we say,
And
so it is.
Ooh, good day.
Good day, people. Good
Day.
day.
Good
So,
night. You got a job to do.
yeah, shine your light. That's your job. Shine your light.
Homework, got homework.
Get it out there.
I love
So
that.
if you would like to support our ministry, please go to beginwithinministries.com. You find out more about us. You can join and become a Spiritual Church Club partner.
You can donate financially once, twice, 3 times a lady, however you like. You can also support us just like you're doing right now, watching us online, participating in the conversation, sharing us with your friends and family members. You can put likes, hearts. I really only like the hearts. I'm just going to be honest with
Being
you.
honest.
Put the gifts in there.
We like gifts too. Those are fun.
Yes.
Both. We want both. Hearts
Yeah,
and
we want it all.
Yes.
We want it
Take a
all.
moment. Take a
Yeah.
moment. Show us some love.
Thank
Yes. But that helps
you.
us. That
Look,
helps
and thank
Facebook.
you for all that are watching.
I
Thank you so much
know.
for
Thanks being
participating.
here. Share it
Yes.
with others. But yeah, when you do that, Facebook knows that something's going on with Sofa Sundays and they'll share it also. And that's what we want. We want the algorithm to pick us up and share us too. The more the merrier.
That's right.
That's what we're doing.
And remember, we're on Instagram, YouTube, here, and soon to be New Thought Media Network. So
Right,
stay
we're
tuned
back.
for us.
And we have another show coming up, going to start probably in
And-
March,
Yes.
called Beyond the Sofa.
So look forward to that little tidbit. Yes.
Did I let the cat out of the bag?
You did. Yeah. Beyond the sofa to infinity and beyond.
Do this here.
Yeah. There you go. So
Oh my gosh, lots of good stuff.
lots of good
we're
stuff.
brewing the goods right now. That's for
That's
sure. We
right.
got stuff going
we
on.
love you all. Thank you so
Guys,
much.
Thanks for being here. Happy Sunday.
Have a great week.
Have a great week. And this coffee was so good in my